What up, Lupe Fiasco, hanging with my big homie, the original Triple G, right here, Hustle Simmons.
Yes, sir.
Launchpad, you heard? Stay tuned.
I hope you weren't mad that I couldn't get you in first class, because first class was all sold out. All the way from Chicago, it's my man Lupe Fiasco. What's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Happy 10th anniversary.
Yeah, I don't think we really told anybody, but we'll tell them now.
Let's do it right now. Why not? You know what I'm saying? You put me on the flight, I might as well blow your spot up.
There it is,
Happy
man.
10th anniversary for the Launchpad, right?
Yeah, if you're not aware out there, the Launchpad is 10 years old this year. The homie G-Spin started the show 10 years ago, and we still flying strong with it. So Chicago, man, what like all of a sudden it became like the new ATL.
Oh man, I don't
Musically.
we don't want to be new ATL.
Well, I mean, I'm
Let's
just okay.
be Chicago.
Okay, all right. Let me give you my thought process behind the statement, because I feel what you're saying, and Chicago's not going to be anybody else. But it was like, you know, certain areas had the music game on lock for so long, and Atlanta was like, you know, the last one to really have a big group of artists come out that made some noise. And Chicago right now is the hot spot.
Yeah, we do. We alright. You know, I think you know. But the thing with Atlanta is because they had a lot of the actual music producers was there. A lot of the heads of the record labels and different people in different positions was actually from Atlanta.
Yep.
Those are the people who had the label deals and what have you. Like the South has always been like a hotbed for just kind of having real. The industry was always there.
Yep.
It was never really in Chicago. You know, so even like with Kanye or myself. We always had to leave the city. For us, it was New York. It was like we got to go to New York to go in the offices and meet with the companies and go in the studios and X, Y, Z. You know, so it's always been a struggle. You know, it's been a struggle to kind of make anything happen in Chicago. You know, it started with kind of the indie scene, like in every city. But then once we got our foot in the door, you know, with people like Crucial Conflict, people like Twister, people like Common. You know, they created this bridge.
What about Do You Wanna Ride?
Oh, Pope and Do It Die all day. You know what I mean? All the acts that came from the city, you know, that got to a certain major level, you know, whether it been with Rap A Lot, you know, or with Atlantic or with whomever, they created a bridge.
Yep.
And so you got this sound. You know, the people knew Chicago existed, they knew talent was there. They said, oh, Kanye, Lupe, oh, okay, cool, kind of cool. Oh, let's see who else is there, you know. And that's why you get that now. But it's still, the industry's still not in Chicago. It's still hard, man. Still, that's what I'm saying. We not like Atlanta because it's still Atlanta. You could bump into, you know, Jermaine Dupri walking down the street.
Yeah.
In Chicago, you're not even gonna see me walking down the street.
Yeah,
you
no,
know
I feel you. I feel
it's
you.
still a tough gig. So when you come out of Chicago and you make it, you definitely put your work in.
Okay, one of is it 10 children or 9 children?
What is it? Let's say 10.
10.
Let's just keep it at 10. A lot of brothers and sisters.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the early days, man. I think some people out there, you know, I've done my research. I've seen a lot of interviews, and obviously you've been around for a while. And you know, all due respect to the career, I think I have a lot of respect for you. I have a lot of respect for a lot of artists, but I think I have an extra step of respect for you because I feel like, you know, it wasn't easy the whole way through for you, nor is it probably still easy the whole way through for you. And what I respect about you is sort of like, I compare it to a tug-of-war battle. Certain people want certain type of music, and certain artists have their type of music. And sometimes the artists sort of get influenced by what other people think they should do. And I respect you as an artist, and I respect you as a man, because you dug those feet in there. You were right at the end of the rope, and you're like, I'm not moving anywhere. And you stayed true to what you do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And obviously you've gained fans all across the world for it. And I think that's a tough thing to do, because when you're putting sort of like, you know, your work, and then people always see that fame. And sometimes people want to take that quick jump over the bridge to get to the fame and might compromise a little bit about what they do musically and maybe themselves. But, you know, you're a classic example of someone that did not.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man. Even though I did, you know, not for my own purposes, you know, to please other people or to make other things go through. Because with all that said, it's still a compromise. You know, still, even to this day, you know, doing this next album, Food Nigga 2, and I was like, I just want a hip hop album. Let's just do a record, our hip hop album.
Okay.
And I was kind of like, you want to do what?
Yeah.
You know, you want to do what? Why would you want to do that? Because I'm a hip hop artist. You know?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you said, even to this day, it's still a battle. You know, to you know, have music with substance. You know, have music just for music's sake. You know, hip hop for hip hop's sake, rap for hip hop for rap's sake. Not trying to be like anything else. Not trying to be a crossover record. Not trying to get on every radio station in every format with one song.
Yep.
You know, it's like, you know, stick to what you do best. you know, and if people come, then they come, you know, and that's kind of what we always had. We always had, you know, we did what we did best, or what we thought was best, and people came. You know, certain people didn't, you know, but that wasn't the point. You know, it was like, let's just build a fan base slowly over time, and so you see that now. You know,
I mean, how many artists fans really protest outside a record company for a release of an album, right? I mean, I know we have an exact date this time around for the album, which is great, but off the Lasers album, with people going and protesting outside the record company, man, I mean,
still phenomenal experience. You know, it still reverberates.
Was that part of the bargaining too for the next thing? Hey guys, I mean, I got a release date in mind. I mean, if you guys don't agree with me, you already know how it's going to go down this time.
Well, we didn't have to do any of that. This process was way easier. But I think because they saw the passion, you know, that my fans had, and they saw that they were willing to put themselves on the front lines, literally, and take it to the, you know, it's almost like a strike, you know, because at the end of the day, these are the people who buy the records. These are people who keep the lights on in the record label. You know, these are people who pay the bills that basically at the end of the day. You know, so when they speak, you know, somebody's gotta listen. You know, Leo Cohn came downstairs with the boombox playing. We have the album, I promise you, it's on this boombox. That really happened. If y'all don't know who Leo Cohn is, he's the king of music in this industry. What have you.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know, it feels good for me as an artist to know I got that support. And then it also feels good, the label feels good to know that, oh, this isn't something that's just a flash in the pan thing.
Exactly.
This dude has a serious kind of movement behind him. So.
Exactly. Let's talk about some of your earlier influences, man. I think some people might be surprised if they haven't, you know, dug up on the history of you. Spice One was a big influence for you back in the day.
Yeah, man. We did a show in the Bay at the end of my last tour in Oakland. And
what was that like?
It was packed, it was crazy. And I rapped the Spice One record that was 187 proof. It was the first record, hip hop record that I heard. It was like a conceptual record, like a concept, and that's what got me hooked to hip hop. You know, it was a violent shoot 'em up record, but the way he did it, like he took alcohol brands and made them like characters in this story.
Okay.
You know, and it was something I could relate to because I'm in the hood and all you see is alcohol billboards and everybody drinking whatever. But you know, and I was young. I was like 6th grade. You know, and first time I heard that record, I was like, oh, that's what I want to do. I want to do stuff like that. I didn't even know you could do that in hip hop. You know, I thought it was just all kind of, you know, LL Cool J and you know whatever I heard was here back then. But it was like, nah, it's a dude who took this concept from the hood, you know, on some gangster, and made this crazy story out of it, you know. And then off of that, you get Nas. And then it was like, oh, you know, because Nas does it too. Oh, okay, this is something. There's a whole genre. There's a whole group of kings in hip-hop that do this.
Yeah.
So there's a place for me, kind of speak. But I got a chance to rap that record. And I was like, yo, I'm going to rap one of my greatest influences for y'all right now. We're going to do this for the Bay. And he's from Oakland. And it was, you know, it was old Spice One record. And the place was like, oh, my God.
Yeah, they must have gone crazy.
Like, oh, word? That's where it came from? Like, yeah, I told you. This is where it's from.
Nice. You brought up Nas. Let's talk about the album a lot. His album is out there. You know, a lot of people are talking about it. Like, a lot of people are giving it praise. He's had a tough run for the last 8. Did you have a chance to check out the album?
I haven't heard it yet.
No?
I haven't heard it yet.
Okay.
I'm going to pick it up at the end of the month. It's Ramadan right now, so I'm fasting. So I'm just kind of like, I can't really enjoy, you know, the hip-hop things as much as I want. So I'm going to wait till the end of the month. But I'm hearing glorious things about it.
Yeah.
Hearing glorious things is really, 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 really good.
Definitely some conceptual records on there as well. What's in the future? Let's talk about Ramadan a little bit. I mean, I'll admit that I'm not overly knowledgeable about it. Do you say Happy Ramadan to somebody?
You say Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak? Mubarak?
Yeah, that's kind of like the greeting.
Okay.
But you say Happy Ramadan. You can say Merry Christmas if you want. I just tell my homie, like, hey, if that's too much, just give me a Merry Christmas. I'll take that too. But you know.
So what does the day mean? I mean, I want to learn.
It's only been going on for about 1,400 years.
Okay.
But no, but the thing of it is, it's just a fast, and you do it every year, and it moves throughout the year because the Islamic calendar is based on the lunar calendar, so it moves throughout the year. So like last year it was next month. You know, the year before that was 2 months from now.
Okay.
So this year is started July 21st. around July 19th.
Okay.
It runs for 30 days, and basically you fast from sun up to sundown. No food, no drink, no hanky-panky. You're trying to not lie, try not to backbite, just trying to keep a nice moral, nice kind of thing going from sun up to sundown. And then you break your fast right at sunset. You eat like crazy, all the way up till the sun comes up again.
Mm-hmm.
You do it over for 30 days. And at the end, there's a big celebration called Eid al-Fitr.
Okay.
It's like one of the big, Islamic holidays. So it's basically like a 3-day Christmas, for Muslims. But,
So what's the day like going without eating the whole day? Is there? Do you have like a notepad in the phone? Like, okay, as soon as the sun goes down, I'm getting one of these. I'm getting one of those.
You definitely, because I'm traveling. You definitely, and then again, it's not to be a burden. So like, if you're traveling, you don't necessarily have to. You just make it up later.
Okay.
You're kind of more stable. If you're sick or physically unable, you don't have to fast. But you definitely plan ahead. You're like, I definitely want some pizza.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna get a chicken sandwich.
Okay.
And then it's important to kind of break your fast right at when it's time to. So you keep some around. If you we be on the road, so I might keep some around just to break it, some water or something.
Yeah.
But it's once you get into the rhythm, it gets easy. And then over time, literally your stomach kind of shrinks a little bit. So you might think like, I'm gonna eat a big steak or something like that. You'll eat 2 French fries and be good. Like it never happened.
Yeah, you want the 16-ounce fillet? No, I'll take the 4-ounce. I think that'll do it for you tonight.
Yeah,
But it's a lot of discipline.
Yeah, and that's the point. To refocus you. The real point of it is to kind of make you remember directly the people who have not. Because there's a lot of people, and the majority of the world has not. It's people who can't even fast. For them, every day is like that. Every day is fasting. They have no food to eat, no clean water to drink, anything like that. So
and you don't really grasp the full feeling of what you just said if you sort of think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think you can. It's just like that. I think with anything in life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we can imagine what someone else may feel,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what situation they may be going through. But until you actually go through it yourself,
until you walk in their shoes, until you walk in their moccasins, you can never know what somebody else is going through. So this is the period of time to kind of get more connected with humanity. So there's a lot of charity thing that happens throughout the month, a lot of charitable events, a lot of people do a lot of different things. So it's a real beautiful thing.
So it's a happy time of year for you.
Yeah, for humanity, not for just Muslims, but for everybody. So it's pretty cool.
Give you a lot of credit for that, because I mean, with the tough promo grind, I mean that's.
Oh yeah. And it's like I got to. And normally I was like, I'm gonna take this day off. I'm gonna take that day off from here. But I'm gonna be going for the next like 4 or 5 months. So it's like you might as well just get it out the way right now.
Yeah.
So it's been going good.
Nice. The new record out there, Bitch Bad, that I've been playing right here on the show for a while.
Thank you.
Interesting record.
But we like to. You know how I do. I like to
stir it up.
Yeah. But it comes from that. It comes from that concepts.
Yeah.
Take a concept. Whether it be something that's super complex or something that's super simple, and talk about it, and just like anything in life, once you start to talk about it, you start to learn about it, research it, it just, it's deeper than you thought it would be, it goes all the way down. So when we did that, when I first started doing that song, it was like.
Where did the idea come from? Did you just?
Honestly, I had the beat,
mm-hmm.
and the beat felt like, and just for this album, I guess we can talk about the album a little bit with this too.
Of course.
The album is kind of like new music, like current music, like I guess modern music.
Yeah.
What you're hearing in hip hop right now. So I had that track, and I was like, and then mixed with some old school stuff and mixed with a little new stuff, but the majority of the album is kind of new modern music. And I had the track, and I was just kind of like, what hook can I put on this? What is this song talking about? What is this song going to be about? And then that just came out. And it was like, okay, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? It was a little clever. I chucked it a little bit, took it back to the studio, and had some of the homies in there. It was like, yo, what y'all think about this? And then actually went in and started doing the record, and it started to come up. And it was one of the records that I didn't write. It was one of the records I just went in the booth and just kind of let it go. And as the story started to build, it just became like this deeper.
That's what I'm saying. For you not to write this record, it's pretty in depth.
Yeah, there was some thought into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Even doing that, it takes me maybe like a couple hours in the booth, kind of putting it together, making sure it's right.
Is that your normal process when you're putting together a song? Are you starting with the hook? Or, I mean, you had the beat, then you went for the hook, then you went in for the lyrics. Is that your typical I mean, do you have a game plan? You know what I mean? Like in football, it's like hike, pass, or run, or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
You know, with records, I guess you could have your verse, then you find a beat, or you know, what is it typically that you like?
Well, for me, as of late, the past couple albums, you know, it's finding an overarching theme first, like a general theme of what the entire album or the entire process is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And this
Food and Liquor 2, by the way, is the name of the new album that's coming out in September.
25th.
Yeah.
Food and Liquor 2.
Mm-hmm.
Food and Liquor 2, the Great American Rap album.
The Great American Rap album.
So the Great American Rap album is the overarching theme.
The umbrella.
Album, you know, so it's kind of like American phenomena, American society, American history, the American experience, the American dream, the American nightmare. You know, that's what I plan to talk about on this album. Okay. And then rap, you know, and just straight rap. Songs that are about rapping for rappers' sake, you know, kind of thing. So, you know, I get that overall theme first.
Yep.
And then kind of figure out musically, you know, what I want it to sound like.
Okay.
You know, do I want it to be, you know, like some trap music? Do I want some new? What would be trap music mixed with boom bap? You know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna use some Bangladeshi drums with this beat, with some Jamaican Rastafari, whatever. You know, come up with that musical kind of thing, and then after that, the song, the tone of the song, will tell, and I'll get a bunch of tracks that fit that musical kind of thing.
Okay.
30, 40 records, and then just constantly listen to them, and then those songs that are the deep, dark, you know, kind of more thought-provoking records will stand out musically first. Those kind of lightweight, anthemic records will stand out. Those deep, kind of hip-hop, you know, lyrical, similes, metaphors, all of that, triple entendre records will stand out. And then you just go to work. And you start to, okay, then you go back to the general concept, and you just kind of like, oh, since we're talking about America, let's talk about Native American. You know, and then, okay, let's talk about, you know, the black experience in Harlem. You know, let's talk about Chinatown. You know, let's talk about, you know, the nuclear weapons program. Let's talk about, you know, American military. Let's talk about, you know, everything that comes into it. You know, let's talk about social phenomena and hip hop. You know, let's talk about hip hop. Let's talk about American music.
Yeah.
And then just kind of pulling from those, and then it's how do you talk about it? You know, do you get it build like a kick push, where you build these characters and then tell a story through that? Do you kind of step back and just kind of do a general history of it? You know, do you do something that's, you know, a complete metaphor, like the you know the BB record? You know, I can't curse, so that's why I can't.
I got you.
I can't curse during the day, so that's what I'm saying BB, but that's bish bad, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Like that record, you know, which is take 3 characters, you know, and kind of put them and play with each other, but keep the theme there, you know, so it's a little bit more relative. You know, so as you can see, the process is a little deep. And honestly, what we did was, for this album, and I've never done this before, is you know, people want to know my lyrical, why I do things, my concept, my thought process behind it. We shot a movie, which is all about.
This is a 2-part release, right?
Yeah, it's 2-part release. So part 1 and part 2. Part 1 comes September 25th.
Yep.
Part 2 comes maybe sometime next year, early next year.
Okay.
Simply because I felt that when you're going to talk about America, you know, you want to have as much space and as much depth to talk about it. You know, so you can't do it in 14 songs. You know, I felt I needed 30 songs. You know?
Okay.
So, you know, album 1 comes September 25th. Album 2 comes, you know, maybe March or something like that. You know, but we shot a movie which talks almost like a little mini documentary, which basically just talks directly about the album, song, why I did this, what this means, what that is, and you know, to give people a better understanding of where I come from creatively, musically. You know? So it's a good piece, man.
You seem really, really excited about the project, man.
Oh yeah, man. It's one of those things where you feel.
This is more than an album, though.
Yeah.
This is way more than an album.
Yeah. From the pre-listens and people who've heard the record, and you know, just people who've been around it and experiencing it, is every record that we come with, you know, from whether it be Around My Way or the BB record, it's been the social repercussions, you know, have been like immense.
Yeah.
Immense for what they in their world, you know. Whether it be bringing up the issue of Pine Ridge, you know, South Dakota, with the Native American experience that's going on there to this day, the most impoverished place in I think they say in the Western Hemisphere, is right in the middle of America. You know, and then from the BB record, where I've had feminists, anti-feminists, chauvinists, people from all over to just come in and critique this record, not for the lyrics or the quality of the record.
Yeah.
You've had maybe a couple people do that, but more so about the content of the record. story behind the record, which has been like, oh wow.
Well, I think it's like, if somebody sees the title, like, I mean, I'm a DJ, so, I get the record sent to me.
Mm.
And when I first saw that, before I downloaded it, we all initially make some type of decision or, conclusion is not the right word, but I think you know what I'm saying. Like, you have some type of interpretation of what's about that. I get the record, I see who it's from, and I look at the title. And I was like, whoa. You know what I mean? I was like, Crespo, did you send me the right one? You know what I mean? And then when I listened to it, and I liked it off first, but then, as I listened to it more and more, and as I play it more and more, then I'm like, whoa. Like, this dude right here really got into this. You know what I'm saying? Where I think some people would see the title automatically and just, with the way music is now today, like, oh, okay, cool. But I mean, you know what I mean? Like, you hit a home run with that one, man.
We were on the set we just shot the video in Miami.
Okay.
So hopefully the video will come out in the next couple of weeks. And, some of the dudes who were on the set, like, they're just the people who move the cameras around and set up lights. They were like, yo, man, whenever we come to do videos, and they normally do hip-hop videos.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, whenever we come to do videos, man, I always think, like, as if it's going to be 18 hours of hearing some nonsense, And I'm like, oh, I got to listen to this song for 70 more times,
Yeah.
And then people, by the end of the day, the gaffers and the light dudes coming up and shaking my hand, like, yo, man, we rock. And kind of just the most nondescript, you would think that they're Metallica fans kind of thing. But showing an appreciation for the record and the concept of the record.
It's a record that you need to keep listening to because, you know what I mean? Like, there's all the way to the last bar. Mm-hmm. It's still, you know what I mean? I mean, I was thoroughly impressed, man. I'm thoroughly impressed,
Thank you, brother.
By your music, you know what I mean? And I like the way, you took that record you heard when you were in 6th grade and realized that was a platform for, what I believe your specialty to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Spice One.
And that's Spice One.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people never believe that. They're like, you're bugging. It has to be this group. Or it has to be this guy.
Yeah, like I think most people will probably hit you with like Tribe.
Indeed.
And you know what I'm saying? Like
Indeed. But it's like, nah.
Yeah.
It's like the reason you got Kick Push, the reason you got, even the reason why you kind of got Superstar, the reason why you definitely getting, the BB record right now, any of the concept records that I did, I inspired initially from Spice One.
Okay.
And that's like, wow, this gangster rapper. And then, kind of completed and set in stone with Nas, and songs like I Gave You Power, he's a gun. And telling the perspective of a gun, it's like, oh my God, I got to do a song like that, So
I mean, going from 6th grade and going to where you are now, man, I mean, it's like, not too many people really figure out that sort of where they want to be at that young of an age and actually able to obtain that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
If I wasn't doing, for me it was, it really concreted itself like junior year of high school. Man, my homies was just sitting around and we had built our little studio out and, cleaned out the.
Were these what was it, Lulu back in the day?
Lil Lou.
Lil Lou.
Millu. Lil Lou. And my homie Bishop G.
All right.
And we just sat around the studio one day and was just kind of like, yo, man, this is it.
Yeah.
Like, it's this or nothing. I didn't take my ACTs. I didn't take my SATs. Take your ACTs and your SATs, ladies and gentlemen out there. But I didn't take any of that. No college prep, no nothing. Because it was like, either I'm going to be doing this or I'm going to be at the post office.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our thing. And sure enough, end of high school, maybe end of senior year, got that phone call. Come on up to the majors.
Nice.
Like, let's go.
Nice. You want to talk any more about the album? Food and Liquor 2. I think I've been conscious for the last few years.
Maybe.
Did I miss a Food and Liquor 1 somewhere?
Food and Liquor 1 was my first album. My first
Okay.
record on Atlantic Records. That was 2006.
Okay.
Executive produced by Jay-Z, featuring Jay-Z.
Yep.
My first kind of intro into the game. And we just felt like on this album, wanted to take it, it's good to do a sequel, why not? It was like, this record, let's take it back to that. Let's take it back to that. Excuse me. And for me, that record wasn't even raw. For me, that record wasn't even like pure, just don't care kind of record. But let's take it back to that feeling. Let's take it back to the Food and Liquor feeling. But for now, for the new era, for the new day, and attach this concept to it, trying to explain the Great American Experience and Great American history or whatever that is, from my perspective.
Yeah.
And then rap.
What does the label say about that when you said you wanted to name it Food and Liquor 2?
Oh, they was cool with it. They was less cool with it being a double CD, you know, because that's what I wanted initially. I wanted it to be like a double CD. You know, when you get it, you got 35 songs to kind of just go home.
Yeah.
You know, go into a coma with kind of thing. You know, but they were cool with the whole process. And then there's so much stuff, you know, that you know, as we roll out the album even more, that I don't want to spoil for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You know, that you would think a record label would be like, no, we're not doing that at all. You're crazy. You know, that they was like, oh, you want to do that? Okay, cool. You know, so it's definitely when people get the album in their hands, they're definitely gonna be surprised.
Nice.
With the liberty that they gave you to work.
So that's a huge change from 2006 to now, as far as, you know, what you're able to do and the decisions you're able to make.
Yeah, we definitely.
You know?
It's definitely put your foot down. It's definitely like, hey, I've been successful. You know.
Yeah, you've earned
I've
it.
shown you. Now we gonna let me do me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just trust me. Let me do me. You know? And they were like, go ahead.
Nice. Proud, man.
Thank you, brother.
Not too many people get to make decisions when it comes to what
Nah, they don't. They don't.
Look at him. He's like, nah, yeah, you're right. They don't. All right, what's the Twitter?
At Lupe Fiasco. Hit me up. I might hit you back. But you definitely hit me up, please. You got the Facebook too.
Okay.
Lupe Fiasco. LupeFiasco.com.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to dress like Lupe Fiasco, go to LupeFiascoStore.com. If you want to find out about what we do on the streets with my foundation, it's LupeFiascoFoundation.org. You know, so basically, if you type in Lupe Fiasco and basically anything after that, you'll probably get to a site that I run somewhere.
Yeah. So. How many pages? How deep are you on the pages on Google when I do Lupe Fiasco? How are we going? Like 120 or something like that?
No, we're deep.
Deep?
We're deep before it starts turning into like Russian and Polish, and different languages and Chinese. You know. But nah,
you want to talk? Let's talk about the foundation for a minute. What do you currently have going on? I mean, obviously, you know.
Well, for the month, the foundation's been up. My sister runs it.
Okay.
And it's based out of Chicago.
Yep.
And so, you know, we do different events throughout the year that specifically trying to, attack things that are going on at the moment. You know, so like in Chicago now, there's the murder rate is through the roof.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
So we try and do these kind of, we have a peace pledge. We go and speak at different high schools, and we were before high schools let out. Spoke at a lot of high schools to kind of get people ready for the summer, to how to be safe during the summertime, and basically how to kind of navigate conflict, so to speak. And then it goes from stuff like that, more kind of cerebral stuff, to stuff where during Ramadan we do like a community, like a dinner kind of thing where we go and we try and promote healthy living, healthy lifestyles, healthy food. We do charity events and charity galas and different stuff like that, fundraisers. We just sent a bunch of kids to Ghana, to Africa to kind of experience that. And as I come up with an idea, it's like, hey, they got this thing over here. Let's do something like that. My team, board of directors goes, builds a thing around it, and attack it. And we align ourselves with a lot of different organizations in the city, like Ceasefire. Okay. To help combat youth violence. Different kind of cultural arts organizations and stuff like that. So it's really kind of widespread, but the focus is positivity in any way that we can do it.
No, but I think the widespread, I think that's good because, I mean, with the way things change and with the climate of, Chicago being this way or that way at any point in time, I mean, you need to be able to move. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's dope that you have the ability and the team that's able to, push the button on something quick because, something might happen tomorrow in Chicago that you might need to address, you know what I mean? And it's obviously real cool that you're working with your sister with it as well. Yeah. And just by looking at you, I can tell, like, it's not like, Lupe's not just, hey, I have a foundation, look at me, I'm doing something for the community. I mean, it's...
Oh, no, it's a real thing.
That's what I'm saying.
My cousins and my nephews and my nieces are in those streets.
Yeah.
They're in Chicago. They live there, play there, work there. And, everybody's affected by it and everybody can be touched by it. So your family, my family's huge.
Yeah.
So to have a family that big and then an extended family beyond that, you want everybody to be safe. You want everybody to, be healthy. You want everybody to kind of have some positivity around them. So, it's for me, I'm doing this for my family. And everybody, the city is my family, so to speak. So it's not just like a flash in the pan kind of. Even when the Lupe Fiasco rapper thing kind of wears off, there'll still be the Lupe Fiasco Foundation. Still going strong.
I'm gonna give you, and I just came up with this. You're getting the Triple G award tonight. Okay.
What is this? What is this Triple G?
I just came up with it.
Triple G.
Triple G award. No one's ever gotten the award because it's a brand new award that I just started right now. Good dude, good music, works for good causes.
My man. I'll
It's the
take
Triple
that. I'll
G
take
Award
those
for
Triple
Lupe
Gs.
Fiasco.
I'll be expecting my plaque or cake or something.
You got it,
In the mail.
man. All right, man. Absolute pleasure having you right here on the Launchpad.
Appreciate
Feel free to get at me on Twitter. It's at DJ Hustle Simmons. Food and Liquor 2, the Great American Rap album, is September 2/5. And happy belated birthday, man. We're both February babies. You're the 16th, I'm the 23rd.
Oh, wow. Happy 10th anniversary.
That's right. Launchpad, 10-year anniversary.
And happy me, Triple G Award.
There it is.
Appreciate you, Hustle.
Well, no problem, man. We're gonna ride out with that bitch bag. What we need you to do right now is pay real close attention to what this brother has to say.